I just want to show a picture of a woman like me who's just living life and doing the best she can, talking about relationships and writing about relationships.
Why is this woman talking about relationships? And she mentioned earlier that she has a podcast. Isn't it crazy to think about that these women who are 42 years of age, in this woman's case, you get these older women, they create these podcasts and they make these books and they talk about relationships. Ma'am, you have failed in this department. Yo, what is going on, guys? So I've got a clip for you here today that was sent to me by Hadan the Mummy, and this one is absolutely hilarious, okay? It is captioned, I am a 42-year-old woman who is single and child-free, but who cares? Now, of course, this is a woman who's over on TikTok. That's where all of these, single, childless women at 30 plus congregate. But this is hilarious. So let's jump into this one, guys. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
I'm 42, I'm unmarried, I've never been married, I'm single, and I don't have any children, and I'm a woman. And I don't want to make that a political statement. I feel like a lot of women in this situation, because there are actually a high number of women in their 40s who are single. I don't want to get into the statistics of how happier single women are, although that is true. That's not what this is about.
So she thinks that women in their 30s and 40s are more happy when they are single. Now, guys, I'm not one of these people who, reads up on the literature all of the damn time and makes sure to know all the statistics, but I'll tell you what I've seen, okay? I have seen a great many women who reach 30, who reach 40, and they don't look too happy to me. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but looking around at the women who are single, 30s, 40s, who don't have kids, to me, they look stressed. Okay, they seem very tired. A lot of them are anxious. They're trying to find a man to lock down. Like from my experience, and I understand my experience is, pales into comparison in comparison to real statistics, but my experience is such that these women are not very happy at all. Okay, but of course, let's ignore the statistics and let's continue.
I think it's just important to say, like, my life as a 40-year-old woman who's single and child free is not a political statement. It's not something that I want to be brand myself as. I don't want to be aggressive about it. I don't even want to explain or rationalize it to people. It's really no one's business.
I love how women make videos like this, man. And they talk to you about their life, okay? And they post it all over the internet, their ex-boyfriends or their situationships they're in or their relationship status. And then they're like, you know what? Yeah, but I don't want to bring too much attention to it. Madam, you are posting this publicly to TikTok. Okay, what do you mean it's not something you want to talk about? You're literally talking about it right now. This video has nearly 4,000 likes on it. What do we even this is classic modern women, guys, They'll say, "Oh yeah, I just want to keep something private," and then they'll post it on the internet for everyone to see. So crazy.
I just want to set an example for myself and for any other women who might know me, who might read my articles or my Substack or listen to my podcast.
Oh
Just
no.
show them that this life is normal. That's it.
Okay. So first of all, hang on a
That
second
you can
here.
actually
This is not normal. Let me just say this, okay? This is something that has happened in recent years, guys. Back in the day, okay, this would be considered quite shameful. This would be considered quite strange. It's only normal because we have a generation of women now who were strong and independent and didn't need no man. Now you see these women absolutely everywhere, guys. Like again, you can go all over TikTok and there are so many of these videos. You go out into society, guys, there are so many women who are single in their 30s and 40s who are just entering into failed situationship after failed situationship. I'll agree with this woman. Like, this has become the norm, but it isn't normal, if you guys pick up what I'm saying.
be happy and fulfilled and live a fairly normal, whatever that means, life as a human being. I realize that not a lot of people might agree with my lifestyle, or they might find it confusing, for whatever reason, whether that's their own societal background, their family upbringing, how they view the world, whatever. Frankly, that's none of my business. And I'm not here to convince anyone about how or why I live my life. The thing is, not everyone's going to agree with you. And
Nobody cares. Can I just say that? Nobody cares what these women decide to do. Like, these women who hit 30 and 40, they think they're like the main character. They think that content creators such as myself or these evil, bad, conservative men who just want to control you, they think that these guys care. But really, men actually don't care whatsoever. Like men are oftentimes, they're trying to date the younger women if they're dating at all. A lot of guys have completely opted out of dating, but even the guys who are still dating, they're not looking to date a 42-year-old woman. Like, how, especially the men who are looking to have families. You physically can't have families with these women anymore. They probably, they don't have any eggs left to have families with in the first place. But it's crazy to me how these women think that, we as men or other people want them to do something specific with their bodies. Guys, let me make this clear. I don't care. If these women go out there and they want to work some corporate job until they're like 70, for it. I find it funny, personally. I find it very funny when women turn around at like 40 and there's like videos of them crying because, they want a man and they wish they had a family instead. But I'm not their dad, okay? I'm not going to tell them what to do. Men aren't going to tell you what to do. This is the strong and empowered era of women. They are welcome to go out there and not have families, just as I am welcome to watch these videos and have a bit of a laugh about it.
And not everyone's going to agree with the life choices that you make, whether or not you're single, whether or not you're in your 40s, or whether or not you have children. There's always going to be people who just don't agree with you, who don't understand you.
That's we understand.
That's life. But I'm not here to be angry about my life. I like my life. I'm proud of myself. I'm always working on myself in terms of like being the best kind of person that I can be for myself and for the people in my life, to live my purpose, to listen to my heart, to heal the stuff that I need to heal.
This woman just said a whole bunch of nothing. Have you ever noticed how women will do this? They'll say like, "Oh yeah, I'm working on myself. I'm doing my healing." Okay, so first of all, healing usually just means that they're trying to undo the damage that they did to themselves by dating men who don't want them. And I use the word dating pretty lightly there. Second of all, when these women say they're working on themselves and they're so proud of themselves, I mean, for what? I don't understand what kind of improvement these women are doing. Are we doing like cardio every day at the gym? I mean, sure. But like again, these women get on here. They talk about self improvement. I'm this beacon of light. Okay, I'm just out here loving people and listening to my heart. Okay, but what have you actually done though? Like, are we some corporate lawyer or something? Have you been super successful on the corporate ladder? Again, men don't give a crap about this, by the way. But like the women can't label anything they've actually done. Okay. And back in the day, guys, women get a lot of respect. They truly do, for becoming mothers and having families and stuff like this. Like, this is not a role I really want to downplay. I actually have a lot of respect for, women who go out there and become great mothers and stuff like this. But unfortunately, those are few and far between these days, it seems, because all of these women are like, yeah, I'm the main character. I'm going to work until I'm 70. Okay. Oh, I've done so much healing on myself. What are you proud of? What have you actually accomplished? Because I would argue that a woman having a successful family, going out there and being the best mother she can be the best wife she can be to her husband, that's something to admire, in my opinion. I don't admire these women who collect cats and they're still single at 40 years of age, because it begs the question, what the hell have you been doing this entire time? Like, have we just been going to therapy for the last, 2+ decades? I don't understand. Like, what are the women actually doing, guys? Like, sitting in their lounge room watching TikToks? Is this what we're proud of? I don't understand.
And just do the things that I love to do. Do I want to get married? Maybe. Do I want to find a long-term partner? I date. I'm open to love and connection. That's it. I mean, that's all we can do in this lifetime, is just to honor what we want to do in this life, to be open to experiences, into opportunities, into connections and love, and then just be done with it and like live life, work out, have a coffee, walk the dog, go to the beach, see your friends, watch a movie, read a book. I mean, this is just life, guys, and we're all living the life the best that we can to our ability. We're all kind of similar in a lot of ways, whether we want to admit to it or not. And I just want to say, like being single and 40, who cares? What do you mean? It doesn't have to be this grandiose thing, grandstanding my life. I understand patriarchy. I understand that there's social constructs that still are just like, what? You don't want to procreate? It's not that I don't want to procreate, just that's never been my priority. I've always just wanted to just make sure I'm the best person I can be. So if that.
Okay, so again, first of all, guys, I'm sure many of you watching can agree with this. You probably don't give a damn what this woman does. Nobody is telling these women what to do with their lives, by the way. We just think it's very damn funny. Second of all, notice how everything is all about like me. Me, what I want to do. Life is about doing what I want to do. It's all about, gathering those experiences. I think we all know what experiences mean in this context, by the way. Whenever you have a woman who's quote unquote experienced, probably not a good candidate for a wife, probably not a good candidate for a girlfriend or someone to take seriously in any capacity. But this woman saying that she's open to the idea of marriage, open to the idea of finding a long-term relationship, ma'am, you are 42. You are 42. Let's think about this, okay? You know what the male equivalent of this is? The male equivalent is kind of like a guy who became a millionaire, okay? And he didn't take any woman seriously whatsoever. He was a playboy, right? And this guy who was a millionaire, let's just say one day he lost all of his money, and now he's open to the idea of having a relationship with a woman. He spent it all on substances and women and all of these sorts of vices. And now that all of his millions are gone, he's like, you know what? I'm open to the idea of marriage. I'm open to the idea of having a family. You think women are going to give a damn about that man? No, absolutely not. They're going to be like, wait, you wasted your millions of dollars and now you want to romance me? The women are going to laugh in that guy's damn face. It's very similar with these women guys, they hit 42 and they're like, yeah, I'm open to the idea of settling down. I'm open to the idea of having a family. Okay, first of all, the odds of you being able to have a family are so damn low, and not to mention dangerous. And second of all, when women say this, I don't think they realize how insulting this is to the men that they've overlooked for the past 2+ decades. These women could have had a boyfriend, could have had a husband since 18. They could have had their high school sweethearts, had a relationship at 18, met a man nice and young, had a family, that sort of thing. And then they get to 42 and they're like, yeah, man, now I'm open to the idea. As if that's not deeply insulting to men.
That were to happen, I could be the best parent to a person. But if that's not my lot in life, I just accept that as this is my experience on this earth for this moment. Just make the most out of it.
So true.
Because why not? But other than that, guys, just live your life. Love your life. It's okay to be single, and it's okay to be a woman who's not a mom. So I don't want to brand myself as that. I don't like it. Other women are doing a far better job at it, proving their points than I could ever. For me, I just want to show a picture of a woman like me who's just living life and doing the best she can, talking about relationships and writing about relationships.
Why is this woman talking about relationships? And she mentioned earlier that she has a podcast. Isn't it crazy to think about that these women who are 42 years of age, in this woman's case, you get these older women, they create these podcasts and they make these books and they talk about relationships. Ma'am, you have failed in this department. This is kind of like a homeless person trying to write a novel on money about how you should invest your money. It's like, my man, you're homeless. Like, who are you to talk about relationships? And by the way, I'll stress this every time. The reason why I don't hold men to the same standard, right? Like if I have some 42-year-old guy and he's talking about relationships, The reason why I don't roast him if he's single is because for men in today's day and age, I don't consider having a wife to be a victory, unfortunately. I would like to be able to consider it a victory, but like getting married in today's day and age, having serious relationships with these women is not necessarily a victory for the man, first of all. And second of all, these women have dating on easy mode. Okay, you can have a guy who gets to 40 years of age, who's done everything correct, and he'll still get spit on by women because he's not tall enough or because he doesn't make enough money. That's not the case for women. You can have a woman who's 5'3" and makes $0 a year, and she'll still find a man. It doesn't matter. So that's why I hold men and women to the same standard. And I find it hilarious when you have these older women trying to talk about relationships and guide younger women. You know, these are not the role models for other women. They have no idea what they're doing. This woman has probably encountered many men in her life who she would have liked to have taken her seriously, but these men couldn't do it. Or didn't want to, rather. It's not that they couldn't, mind you. It's just that they didn't want to take this woman seriously. You know, like all of these women who they're strong and independent and they're single and they don't need no man. Oftentimes throughout their life, they have met many men who they will break down and cry over because those men don't want to commit. And yet here they are with their podcasts and their books and so on, and you can't even keep around a single man. Riddle me that.
Cultivating a best relationship with herself, just having fun, and just being like, this is normal. This isn't abnormal. This isn't weird. This is just life for some people. It's all good. I don't know. I just wanted to say that because, like, there's some people who are just really angry and just like they need to talk about it. And I'm just like, I guess I'm talking about it right now, but it's like, I want to mention that because it's part of who I am. But it's like, I just don't, like, this is just, I think my singleness and my age are probably like the least interesting parts about me.
No, but here's the thing. They are very relevant, especially if you're looking to get married one day, like this woman said that she was open to. Okay. If you're looking to have a family as a woman who's getting up there in age, or you're looking to get married or something like this, you might not care about it. Okay. You might not understand what's going on. But to men, this is very relevant. A lot of guys will look at a woman who's older and he'll think to himself, why is she single at this age? You know, in the back of his mind, why? What has she been doing this whole time? You might have a woman who's 30 years of age and, you know, for all intents and purposes, she looks great for her age. She could have had a man at any point. And guys understand this, you know, and they'll sit there and they'll think to themselves, something's wrong here. Okay. And you come to find out more often than not that these women have tremendous amounts of bedroom experience, shall we say. They have so much baggage. Oftentimes, they come with terrible attitudes. They don't respect you because you don't stack up to some random guy that they hooked up with in their past who had a way cooler car than you, or more money, or was taller, or whatever, you know? And it's like men will sit there and they'll think to themselves, I don't want to date this. Okay. So you might think it's all good. You might think it's great and nobody can tell you what to do. And that's true. I'm not your dad. I don't give a damn. Many of these men don't care. But you're going to struggle if you want to lock down a husband. Okay. If you want to lock down a relationship, if you want to get with a man who is successful or has the things that you're looking for, it's going to be quite a challenge for you.
You know what I mean? It's not really about like, how do you do it? How are you still single? How are you over 40? It's more like, who are you? How are you? Nice to meet you. This person's interesting. I'm funny, charming. I'd like to get to know her. I'd like to read her stuff. I don't know. I just think it doesn't have to be so deep sometimes. It can.
Okay, so this woman clearly doesn't want to be defined by the fact that she's 40 plus years of age and she's single. And, you know, that's a fine stance to have, but unfortunately, it's not reality. You know, you as a man, for example, you can go out there and you can make, you know, you can complain that you're defined by your job, but people are going to define you by your job. They're going to define you by what you do, what decisions you make in life, what decisions you don't make in life. And I see a lot of women who They complain. They're like, I don't want to be branded in a particular way. I've seen like divorced single mothers get on TikTok and they say things like, I don't want to be lumped in with the other divorced single mothers. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, what do you mean? This is what you are. This is like me going out there, guys, committing a felony and then being like, hey, I don't want to be considered a felon. Okay. That's not my whole identity. Why don't you get to know me? Like, why don't you learn the other aspects of who I am? Yeah. The problem is this is deeply relevant to who you are. This is deeply relevant in the context of romantic relationships, even to other women, by the way. They're going to judge you very harshly for this, particularly the traditional women, by the way, the quote unquote traditional modern day women anyway. But guys, we're going to be leaving it there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.